Thank you, Bill. The Honorable Senator Bam Aquino, my colleagues from the Department of Trade and Industry, Undersecretary Zeni Maglaya, Undersecretary Noya Terrado, Undersecretary Chito Manalo, Duay Governor Oliver Butalid, Mr. Eriko Ishikawa from the International Finance Corporation Inclusive Business Team, Dr. Alan Bollard, Executive Director of the APEC Secretariat, Ms. Doris Magsaysay Ho, Mr. Jaime Augusto Sobel de Ayala from the APEC Business Advisory Council, Mr. Marcos Neto from the UNDP's Business Call to Action, Mr. Rafael Lopa from the PBSP, and all our partners from the APEC economies, private sector, Excellencies, distinguished guests, friends, good afternoon and thank you for taking time off from your hectic schedules to be present today. The collective knowledge and experience in this room is a force to reckon with. Our speakers are luminaries in their respective fields, from the captains of industry to one of the Philippines' youngest and most dynamic legislators, to leaders of the largest multilateral organizations in the world. We are also joined by CEOs of large corporations, highly influential civil society advocates, and policymakers whose decisions shape the lives of millions. The Asia-Pacific region is the global growth leader at present, and is expected to remain as such over the medium term. The economic outlook for the region is favorable, despite a recent slowdown. The IMF projects that growth in 2016 may closely parallel this year's figures at 5.4%. The Philippine experience mirrors that of the larger region, driven by strong consumption figures, fresh investments, foreign remittances, and the exceptional performance of our trade, services, and business process outsourcing industries. In the second quarter of 2015, the country posted 5.6% GDP growth, with household consumption growing by 6.2% and capital formation growing 17.4% in the quarter. The export of services was also strong, with 31.1% year-on-year growth. Even with the country's robust economic performance over the past years, poverty remains a challenge, with 1 in 4 Filipinos still poor and over 25 million subsisting on incomes below $1 a day. Poverty remains a problem in the region as well. An Asian Development Bank study revealed that over 700 million in the Asia-Pacific region, 2/3 of the world's poor, live below the global poverty line of $1.25 per day. These numbers represent actual lives and families who face the daily struggle to make ends meet. APEC ministers at the Structural Reform Ministerial Meeting noted as well a widening gulf between rich and poor, despite per capita income growth. The APEC 2015 theme, Building Inclusive Economies, Building a Better World, calls on APEC economies to address poverty if economic growth is to be truly inclusive. Through the years, a range of models and approaches have been implemented, and governments are now realizing that public policies and state programs should be complemented by business-driven solutions to poverty. Inclusive business represents such a solution. And what makes inclusive business a viable solution to poverty alleviation? Inclusive business are innovative models where companies engage the poor and low-income communities as partners, customers, suppliers, and employees in their supply chains, not out of altruism, but because it makes good business sense. The integration of these communities into global value chains improves their quality of lives and make better business with diversified supply and distribution systems. This way, the communities are transformed into a new market for goods and services, offering tremendous source of talents, skills, and entrepreneurial drive. This partnership strengthens value chains and ensures the sustainability of businesses and their host communities, while striking a healthy balance of economic gain and social good. APEC members acknowledge this as well as in their adoption of the Boracay Action Agenda for micro, small, and medium enterprises, the vast majority of which are micro in scale and in the informal sector. From a government viewpoint, IB helps us meet our development and poverty reduction goals. In our experience, these models result in spreading the benefits of growth to the poor by providing decent, well-paying jobs and high-quality services to poor communities. A number of successful cases of IB can already be found in the Philippines. Identified in studies by the DTI and the ADB, these cases demonstrate how inclusive business simultaneously serves the business objectives of companies while addressing poverty issues. Kennemer Foods provides a strong case for IB engagement. Under the company's cacao growership program, smallholder farmers supplying cacao beans to Kennemer are on track to realize a 7-fold increase in annual income, taking these farmers straight out of poverty. The farmers also saw a 4-fold increase in crop yield, making them more productive contributors in the growing economy, while ensuring for Kennemer a reliable supply of cacao in the long term to satisfy orders from global customers. Kennemer is looking to integrate a total of 35,000 farmers into the program by 2020. Nestle's Nescafe plan, on the other hand, offers technology, training, and technical support to tens of thousands of Filipino farmers, developing them into long-term direct suppliers for the company. Through a combination of direct buying and capacity building, Nestle is hoping to grow local sourcing from 30% to 75% of total supply, while engaging over 83,000 farmers as suppliers by 2020. This is expected to result in significant supply chain cost savings for Nestle, as well as new competitive advantages from the use of Philippine Robusta coffee beans, which offer superior yields in instant coffee processing. Yet another is Manila Water's Tubig para sa Barangay program, which effectively lowered the cost of a cubic meter of water from 150 pesos to 7 pesos for 1.6 million low-income residents of Manila. They now enjoy clean, potable water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The program also improved Manila Water's network efficiencies, resulting in a reduction in system losses from 63% in 1997 to 11% today. Specifically, 700 million liters of water is recovered per day, thus saving the capital expense of building a medium-sized dam of about 25 million pesos. With satisfied customers turning away from illegal connections, Manila Water saw an improvement in collection efficiency from 15% to 100%. The experience of Kennemer, Nestle, and Manila Water strengthens the case of inclusive business as sound business. IB results in greater sales, strengthens supply chains, and builds immense brand value among customers and stakeholders. To support such companies, the Board of Investments has integrated IB in its investment priorities plan and will soon align industry support initiatives to prioritize IB. Our focus is on identifying and promoting IB models, encourage more companies to come up with IB solutions of their own, and establish an enabling policy environment where such businesses can thrive and flourish. In doing so, we follow the lead of countries in Latin America and the OECD, as well as the G20, where concrete policy options on inclusive business are already in place. This brings us to where we are now, the high-level dialogue on inclusive business, the main platform for discussing IB at APEC 2015. This builds on prior discussions during the APEC Public-Private Dialogue on Women and the Economy last September, and the APEC Investments Experts Group Public-Private Dialogue on Inclusive Business last August. At the IEG meeting, we recommended making IB a new area of engagement for APEC this year and the years to follow. Through this dialogue, we hope to gain a common understanding and a deeper appreciation of IB, explore its vast opportunities, and chart the next steps. It is with hope that our work here today will carve a permanent place for inclusive business in APEC and continue when Peru succeeds the Philippines as chair of APEC in 2016. To end, I would like to thank all our speakers and delegates who remain committed to pursuing initiatives that will help us achieve inclusive economic growth throughout APEC. With your energy and expertise, we are confident that our shared aspiration of inclusive growth will soon come to fruition. Thank you, and mabuhay.